let's look ahead at tonight's games. I have to say, it's early in the season. It's day 3. I love this schedule. I really do. I think, the way this is set up, hopefully we're going to see a schedule this year where nobody has 5 games in hand on anybody else. And as often as possible, teams have equal rest to one another. Due to geography, due to scheduling conflicts with concerts, other sports, yada, yada, yada. It's going to be difficult to do, but right now it looks good. And tomorrow night, we got 15 games tomorrow. 15, so there's only one team with the night off tomorrow. I'm excited about that. So tonight's games, the Islanders are in Columbus. And it's an interesting matchup because Islanders fans continually tell me, and anybody else online who talks about the Islanders, how great they looked down the stretch last season. And I agree. But, as I've pointed out in other videos, how your team does down the stretch in one season does not necessarily carry over to the next one. And the excitement over a new coach, again, doesn't necessarily carry over to the following season. Every season is on its own. It's an island, basically. There are rare cases where you'll see a team build its way up or you'll see a team drop precariously based on what happened in a previous season. But it really is on its own. And usually teams that finish out of the playoffs will finish out of the playoffs again. I mean, last year we had a tremendous turnover of 6 teams making the playoffs that had missed the year before. I'm pretty sure it was 6. And the average is about 3 or 4 usually. I don't know that the Islanders make it. But if they're going to, they have to win games like tonight's in Columbus. They have to beat the teams that finish ahead of them in that division. And they have to do it right out of the gate. Now, last night, Matt Duchene shows that whether he wants to be in Colorado or not, it doesn't matter. He's a professional. He's going to give it his best effort. I love players that do that. So, whether Tavares is publicly saying things about wanting to stay with the Islanders, but secretly he doesn't want to be there anymore, or he genuinely loves being a New York Islander and wants to spend the rest of his career there, he has to play like he wants to spend the rest of his career there. It's for his best interest financially, let's be honest. And it's for the best interest... Apologies. It is in the best interest of the team that he's able to do that. Meanwhile, for Columbus, they're anxious to prove that one year is not all they are. That they're not a one-year wonder. And some are picking them to fall back again this year. So that'll be an interesting one. Florida's in Tampa. And this really should be a greater feud than what it's been over the years. And I really hope that it picks up. Florida-Tampa should have the same intensity as St. Louis-Chicago, Islanders-Rangers, Montreal-Boston, and Toronto-Montreal. And really it's been a matter of Florida being less competitive or Tampa not being competitive or both of them not being competitive. I'd like to see that change this year. And I'd like to see that change while admitting I didn't pick Florida to take a step ahead this year, and I took Tampa to take a major step ahead this year. But these games can get ugly, and while I don't necessarily like ugly in divisional matchups, I do like a little bit of a fight in the game. I do like to see some big hits. Contrary to popular belief, I like hitting. I like legal hitting. So, fingers crossed that we're going to have a good game tonight, and that maybe Florida gets off to a good start this year. Vegas Golden Knights are in Dallas. This is a trap game. I say that as a Dallas fan. As a Dallas fan, I recognize a trap game. I've recognized them for Boston, and when Vancouver was one of the best teams in the league, I recognized them. So Vegas is playing their first game ever. In regular season, this is it. Dallas has added Radulov up front, Method on the blue line, Bishop in net. Dallas is being tabbed by a lot of writers, pundits, and by myself as well to make the playoffs this year after missing last year. Their first home game being against Vegas, that sucks. I wish it was against Chicago or St. Louis or just a division rival. Because Dallas could very well have a letdown tonight in that it's a home opener. So they're already going to be either nervous or relaxed. Either way, it just seems like, sometimes you'll see a team come, yeah, we played really tight tonight, or yeah, we were loose and just, they took advantage and we allowed them too many 2-on-1 breaks. You got to be careful. Because if you don't look at that home opener as being an important game, and it's an 82-game season, it can get away from you fast. Vegas, I wouldn't be surprised to see them win tonight. I wouldn't. I really genuinely wouldn't. I think that Dallas is one of those teams that, as they're being picked, and everybody's picking them as the sexy pick in the West to turn it around, my optimism's more guarded. I'm a huge Mark Methot fan. But Methot, I've always had my doubts about him as a top 2 guy, and I don't know where that's coming from, but I just have doubts lingering. And Radulov, I'm not sure that he can put together 2 straight great seasons. And Bishop, can he stay healthy? Can he get back to being the Ben Bishop he was in Tampa? There's too many question marks for me with Dallas right now for me to fully commit to them and say, yep, we're good. Sort of like last night's Boston game. DeBrusk plays great and McAvoy plays great, and now I can breathe somewhat easier as a Bruins fan. But yet, it's one game. So on the one-game aspect, I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas wins this opening game. It would be a great story for them. It would lead to obnoxious Twitter posts by the Vegas Golden Knights Twitter admin, who's very entertaining. But there's actually a groundswell against the Vegas Golden Knights Twitter account, and I don't know if that'll actually translate to fans saying, you know what, I don't like the team, or if it's just going to be the Twitter handle. But it'll be interesting to watch. Let me know who you think's going to win tonight, and let me know which storyline you think is interesting. And what I like is, and I said at the start of this, I love this schedule. All 6 of these teams haven't played yet. I love this schedule. Let me know what you guys think, though. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.